All right, you want to prepare your cards for grading. In this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your card physically so that it'll be ready for a PSA slab. This video, we're not going to go over the online process of filling out your submission form. Instead, we're going to show you how to take the best care of your card before you send it off to whichever grading company so that you can ensure that you'll get like at least an 8. So there's a few things you're gonna need. Magnifying glass, preferably with the LED light. Thick card sleeves. And last but not least, or actually not last, card saver ones, because these are recommended for grading submissions, and a premium microfiber cloth, preferably clean. And optional are gloves. If you're very diligent with your hands and you take good care of your cards, you don't need gloves if you're experienced. But if you don't feel like your hands are ever clean enough, if you got like real sweaty palms or whatnot, you might want to wear gloves just so you're not like doing double work and stuff. I haven't like polished twice or like wipe it off twice. So anyways, first step, you want to take your card and analyze it with the LED magnifying glass. So corners look good, edges are solid, surface looks good. Oh wait, not quite. I don't know if you guys see that. There's a huge dent in the card up there. I didn't even notice that without this magnifying glass. And now that I do, I'm not even gonna bother with this card. It'll get at least an 8 because of that, or at most an 8 because of that, I should say. So we're just gonna put that one right back in a top loader, keep it in the PC, or if we're gonna sell it, we're gonna take a high def picture of that and just sell it raw. Because cards like that, with major damage like that, are not worth grading. Here, we have a Jalen Hurts that's fairly clean. Panini Mosaic rookie. Good corners, good edges, and decent surface. We got like a couple scratches here and there, which might bring us down to a 9. But because Hurts is on fire this year, we're gonna go ahead and proceed with preparing it. So like this is a legit card I'm gonna send off. This isn't like a phony just for the video. Like we're really doing this. So first thing you wanna do after, or second thing I should say, after your magnifying glass analysis is you want to wipe it down with your microfiber. Now you want to do fairly like soft movements, just kind of like outwards from the card. And I like to keep my index behind the area I wipe. You should only or you shouldn't wipe so hard that your card like starts to bend or anything. I just keep that finger there for support, and so I don't drop the card or anything. You don't want to get your microfiber caught up on the corners either. So this looks pretty decent now. There's still that scratch I could see there, but nothing major. I mean, with that scratch, I'm not anticipating a 10, but at least you guys know like what to look out for. So I'm just gonna want to wipe that of any fingerprints. And now this card looks pretty solid. So after this, you're gonna want to take a thick sleeve. I recommend the thick sleeves because they're easier to work into the card saver ones than your traditional penny sleeve. Of course, these cost a bit more, but I think they're definitely worth it if you're trying to get a high grade. And also, you don't want to reuse sleeves. You want it to be brand new. Same with your card saver, because you want to make a good first impression with your grader. So as you can see, that sleeve is slightly oversized, but that's going to work out in your favor with these card saver ones. First thing I like to do with these card savers, brand new of course, is I like to open it up like that just to kind of, I don't know, wear it in, I guess, or something along those lines. That way it's not so hard getting this card in. And next, when you're putting the card in, you want to make sure it's fairly centered in there, and that'll be the easiest way to slide it in there. I like to use 2 thumbs just to go on the very outsides of the card and slide in there. Because if you try to go in the middle, you're just going to pull the sleeve. So you want to go on the outside and just push it down in there. Try to get as far as you can. See how it's getting kind of crooked? I got to straighten it out. And once you get it to about there, I like to open this bad boy up. Pinch it on the outsides of the penny. Kind of keep it open with my left hand right there. And just push it down in there. And there you go. I mean, you could straighten it out a little more, I guess. There we go. So, I mean, that's good to go right there for grading, guys. You might want to push it down a little more, but I mean, these things are so big. There's so much room that it's not. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I got a storage full notification. Had to clean some things up. And we're back. So, as you can see, this thing looks pretty crystal clear, pretty clean now that we've prepped it properly, and it just overall sends like a positive message to the grader, really. A grader doesn't want to grade something where like it looks like you're reusing the sleeve, like the sleeve's all banged up or the card saver's all banged up, even though they're just like throwing all this stuff away probably as soon as they take it out. It just leaves a good first impression for the grader, really. Shows them that you're, you know, likely someone who takes care of their cards, and they're gonna keep that in mind while grading. Of course, you know, in a perfect world, there shouldn't be any bias. However, when these guys are grading like hundreds of cards a day, probably, or at least 100, little things like that definitely matter. Anything that like speeds up the process for them helps. So, yeah, guys, so that's pretty much how you do it. Like I said, you could use gloves, and then you could place a microfiber down, place the card on that, kind of wipe it and play with it that way. Whichever really works for you. I mean, for me, I don't feel like I really need the gloves. I've got 10s doing it just like this. I mean, you guys see these right here. I graded these the same way that I just showed you guys. And these are all Gem Mint 10s. And I hope you guys are able to get Gem Mint 10s too. And just remember, if a card has like an obvious flaw, like the Torkelson dent up there, that's not the sleeve, that's the card, you just might as well put it back in the top loader, save it, sell it as raw, because things like that, obvious signs like that, or like a super dinged corner, it's really gonna bring down the grade of your card. And yeah, guys, I hope those were some helpful tips. Drop comments if this method works for you. And if it did and you get your cards back, let me know like what kind of grades you guys get. In the future, I'll probably do a more in-depth video like with the online submission form and everything. But yeah, guys, message me if you have any questions, and have a good rest of your night.